Allison Ferns here with you this Wednesday afternoon. It's time to meet our lunch break guest. Mimi Nation-Dixon grew up in a rural Sussex village, South Chailey to be precise, where the eccentricities, shall we say, of countryside life inspired her to write her one-woman play, Sit or Kneel. She has since taken that play to the Edinburgh Fringe, and now you will have a London premiere at the Other Palace in October. That's exciting.
It is incredibly exciting. I cannot wait to bring it back and to give it a new lease of life.
So let's start at the beginning then. How did the idea come about in the first place?
So right at the very start, I've always had a fascination with characters whose exterior contrasts so greatly to their interior. And I was kind of trying to work out the best vessel to explore that. And then it was one Christmas day in South Chailey where I was sat in church and our lovely vicar was going around asking everyone, what are they up to? What are they doing? So I said to him, I do theology at university. Didn't really think much of it, but then he turned to the congregation and was like, she'll be after my job next. And obviously not obviously, but I didn't do theology to become a vicar. Right. I slightly did it for a degree. And then the cogs started turning and I thought, how funny if somebody like me so unexpectedly decided to become a vicar whilst all your friends kind of do the well-trodden paths, if I stayed back in a rural village and became a vicar. And then the idea for the character of Margot was born, who for me was the ideal vessel to explore this whole notion of our exterior self versus our interior self.
Okay. And you mentioned you did theology at university.
Yeah.
In fact, can I just say, I love the title of your dissertation. Do you mind sharing it with everyone?
How did Richard Curtis say yes to vicars and knickers in his situational comedy, The Vicar of Dibley?
Now, I'm a massive fan of The Vicar of Dibley.
I just think it is
so funny, so clever. I could watch those episodes over and over again. But I also think, I don't know if you agree, that it actually, I think, went a long way in changing people's perceptions about female clergy.
Absolutely. It was written at the time where the General Synod had allowed females to become ordained. So it was slightly revolutionary in a quiet way. But what I think was so clever about it is that you don't watch The Vicar of Dibley and think it's making a massive political point. It's just amazing characters in an amazing rural setting. And it's so funny. And it ties into the British humour, which we all know and love. So, yeah, it was a great joy to write my dissertation on that. Quite a good shortcut to whilst everyone else was reading, books in Hebrew in a library.
You got to watch it on French.
I was sat there on my laptop watching The Vicar of Dibley.
From writing the one-woman play to Edinburgh, because of course it's on at the moment, isn't it? And I have friends who've sort of done it in the past and they say that it's an amazing experience but very overwhelming because there's so many shows and it's so hard to make sure that you sell tickets to yours.
I know, it's incredibly tough, and I think, to be honest, thank goodness I didn't know it was going to be as tough as it was when I first was gutsy enough just to do it. So I think naivety was actually to my advantage. But sort of by writing my final year, I was immersed in vicars and knickers. One hand I was writing my dissertation, the other hand I was writing Sit or Kneel. Spent a year writing it, rehearsing it, and then it's just a case of creating a pack, like applying to venues. And once you have that secured, you slightly think, okay, job done. But no, it's the fundraising. It's a massive financial risk, and so I have massive respect for anybody who brings a play of any size to Edinburgh, whether or not they sell out or kind of have one or two people in the audience. I think it's to be there is an amazing achievement in itself.
Yeah, although I think that must be so soul destroying though, if you've put all that work in, all that effort, and there's literally two people sat watching you.
So tough, and the resilience it takes to kind of carry on through that. I was terrified on my first day. I thought, goodness, I'm doing a one-woman play. Can you imagine if I do my one-woman play to one person?
Did that ever happen?
No, thank goodness it didn't. But there were some days when I thought, gosh, I've really got to fly away today to get the tickets in.
So you literally had to pound the streets just handing out flyers to people?
Handing them out, especially at the beginning, because I was going there literally kind of fresh out of uni as a complete complete unknown, so naive. I was just sleeping on my friend who's at uni in Edinburgh's sofa, just going for it. And then by the end, I was fortunate enough to, word of mouth is such a powerful thing in Edinburgh. So I was fortunate enough to get some good reviewers in, get some kind of great conversation going around it, because it's quite a political topic in a way. So that kind of helped fuel my success. But I got incredibly lucky. But it doesn't, no matter how lucky it may seem on the outside, there were definitely days where it felt like a massive struggle. But you do it
work
because
hard
you love
to make your own luck. I always like that phrase. And now you're taking it to London. How do you manage that?
So since Edinburgh, Edinburgh for me was the launch pad into what I consider now, I'm at the beginning chapters of what's hopefully, touch wood, a long career in kind of writing and acting, especially in comedy. So Edinburgh was my launch pad, and through that I was fortunate enough to have sort of the right people heard about it at the right time and came to watch it at the right time. So you kind of get the cracks in a door open. So since then, I've just been kind of making sure that those cracks turn into fully open doors.
Yeah.
So just met with a few people, explained to them how I want to change it, because, I mean, as you'd like to hope, I've kind of improve slightly, the characters developed a lot.
It's going to evolve, isn't it, as time goes on?
So to bring back an evolved version to London is so exciting, and to make Sit O'Neill what was always my original intention is to be something slightly bigger than a Edinburgh Fringe play. So it's great. I can't wait.
So it's going to be at the Other Palace from the 21st to the 26th of October.
Yeah.
Has the vicar in South Chailey been to see it?
No, he hasn't, but I'm thinking he kind of should, because Other Palace is very near Victoria, and I got the train down from Victoria this morning, and Gatwick Express super quick.
Yeah, does he even know that he inspired this play?
He does know, because whenever I go home and go to church, we have a catch up about it.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I mean, he probably doesn't know the extent of his inspiration, but he will do now, I'm sure. Maybe he might be listening, who knows.
Who knows. Mimi Nation-Dixon, thank you so much.
Thank you, Alison, lovely to speak with you.